How's it going, guys? Topic for today's video, you got a cool third-person view of me on the bike. Basically mounted my selfie stick using some electrical tape and some old tire tubes right onto my bike. So you're gonna get a cool view of today's video, which is cycling workout for weight loss. So I'm not like a researcher, scientist, or anything like that. This type of workout, just basically, it makes sense to me in terms of increasing your overall fitness as well as reducing your risk for injury. So I kind of basically break up a workout that I'm basically doing in order to really increase my fitness into 3 different sections. So the first one is warm-up section, so that's what I'm doing right now. So currently I've been riding for 23 minutes. So I'm basically riding to a hill that's in London, so it's just ridden about 9 kilometers right now. So I'm riding to the hill as a warm-up. Then what I do is I do a set of intervals. And so specifically today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do 2 easy intervals up this hill. So the hill that I'm going to be tackling today, it's not really a hill compared to what I'm used to. I'm used to like pretty long climbs, so between 2 to 5 kilometers, average gradient between typically 6 to 7, even 8%, some of them up to 10%. So the one today, it's only 400 meters long. Average gradient is 8%, so it is pretty steep, but it's not very long. And in London here, there's not a lot of options for hill climbing, which is, I wouldn't say it's my specialty, but I would say that it's my favorite thing to do. So basically right now, I'm just coming up to the base of the hill. So while I've been riding for this, for the first 24 minutes now, is my average watt has been 162. So my average watt so far, it's been 162 watts. I weighed myself this morning, I was 153 pounds. So that's approximately 69 kilos or so. So basically riding at an easy pace, so that's so 140. So just over about 2.2, 2.3 watts per kilo. So now I'm on the base of the climb right now. And for my first intervals, actually my first 2 intervals, my goal is to just maintain a wattage between 250, 260 watts. Just to kind of like, I use it almost just to kind of like warm my muscles up a little bit. So one of the great things about having a power meter is, I'm going to stress that a lot in this video, is you have objective measurements of how hard you're pushing on the pedals. So right now my average wattage during this climb is 290 watts. So I'm just going to ease up just a little bit. Bring it down to 250, 260 or so. So a power meter, if you want to get really fit on the bike, I would say it really definitely cuts down the learning curve, and it really just lets you have that objective measurement of exactly how much you're pushing out, which I think is really important to be able to see while you're riding, especially when you're doing intervals. Because you got to think of it like this: if you're going to the gym and you just start picking up weights and there's no numbers on the sides, it's like you don't know how much you're picking up. It's the same thing with cycling. Most people, when they're riding up a hill, they have no idea how hard they're pushing. No idea. And you can gauge it by your heart rate. Heart rate isn't the best way to gauge your effort on a hill, but for most people, it's going to be good enough, just for the purpose that power meters are not cheap. So you typically, like my Stages power meter was $700. So it's not a cheap little toy to get on your bike. All right, so got to the top here. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn around, ride down, then ride back up. So my average power was 270 watts. Probably took me just over 2 minutes to do the segment. All right, let me turn around. All right, so now I'm just gonna ride back down, ride right to the bottom, turn right back up, do it all again. So what's the importance of having, so I'm basically starting my next interval up this climb. So what's the importance of having like a warm-up? Warm-up basically warms up your muscles, but warming up your muscles and getting them prepared in order to do a max effort is really important for reducing the risk of injury. So if you just start out a workout and go like a badass out of hell right when you start, so your muscles are cold, they're shorter, and you can injure your muscles a lot easier like that. So it's really important to do some basically a warm-up period. I recommend at least 15 to 30 minutes. If you do it upwards of 45 minutes, that's fine as well. So right now, average watt of the second interval here so far 260. So just going nice and easy. What's really nice, so this climb, it has periods, has little parts of it where it goes up over 10%, and that's pretty steep. And if you don't have the right gearing on your bike, you're probably gonna have to get off and start walking, unless you have a really high level of fitness, or you're gonna be grinding and your cadence is gonna be somewhere between 40 or 50 or something like that. So on the front of this bike, on the front chainring, have a compact crank set. So that means 50 teeth on the big ring, 34 on the small, none on the rear cassette. It's a 12-32 cassette. So that means 32 teeth on the biggest ring on the back. And then, so that means my easiest climbing gear is 34-32. So even on this short, steep climb, and I'm not even pushing out that many watts, so about 3.5 watts per kilo, I can still maintain a cadence approximately around 70. Ideally, you want your cadence around somewhere between 80 to 100. But what's nice is when you have that easy gear set on, is that you can do laps up a hill, even if it's pretty steep, and still not have to push out crazy watts or have a really, really low cadence. So turning back around and going back down the hill. So you can do a lot of, for such a short little climb like this, you can do a number of warm-up laps up and down, up and down, up and down. You can do 4 or 5 if you wanted to. Just for today, just for the length of this video, I'm just gonna do 2. So I've been riding on the bike right now for 33 minutes. And so by the time that I get down and I turn around, I'm gonna be doing basically a max effort. So here's the start of the segment. Hit the lap on my Garmin so I can measure the watts that I'm gonna be putting out. So again, cadence, right around 100. Average watts for 410. So heart rate should probably be getting up to 175, 180. Difficult, much more difficult to speak. All right, feels like I can go a lot harder. 1 minute into the segment. Cadence 100, 105. Average power 447.
All right, so I ended up averaging 450 watts. Probably was about a minute 30, minute 40 for that segment. Some of the fastest guys in London do it in just over a minute, minute 10 or so. So they're averaging well over 500 watts. So that's a hard portion of the workout. I could probably do another lap at that same wattage, I think. Because even at the bottom, I just felt like, I was like 30 seconds in, I'm like, I can do a lot harder than this. Because I knew it was only about a minute 30 long. Oh, fuck. So you really want to get in that hard effort. That hard effort is what most people don't do, so they're not focusing on their speed or their time on certain segments. And you want to do a proper warm-up, get your muscles warmed up, and then you want to focus on blasting, getting a PB up a hill, even on a flat piece of land. Keep looking to improve your speed and improve your time. Most people just do a low intensity steady state for their entire workout. And you really only want to spend about 5 to 10 minutes per week at the tops, 5-10 minutes at the tops at a max effort pace. Most people spend zero time there, and if you're really looking for weight loss results coming from cycling or from running or whatever, doing speed work is so important. Once you start to build that muscle, once you start to build that fitness up, your muscle mass increases, your resting metabolic rate increases. When your body's recovering from the intense workout, that also increases your resting metabolic rate. So you're just naturally burning more calories, your body's getting more shredded, and you just lose weight so much easier. Hannah has been noticing that as well. Just losing weight a lot easier when you start to increase basically the intensity of your exercise. So what I'm going to do, turn back around and head back up. I'm going to do 2 more times, just easy though. And yeah, this is what I love to do. I love to get out here. As odd as it sounds, I love to punish my body and see how hard I can go, see how much faster I can get. It just kind of sucks for living in London. Like, this is really the only good climb, and it's over in a minute and a half. And I love doing stuff that takes me between 7 to 10 minutes or so. So we're doing a workout like this. So this workout's going to be about an hour or so on the bike. This is like an effective workout. Like, going out for 2 or 3 hours in a low intensity steady state is good to do, and you definitely want to mix it up, but you don't want to spend the entirety of your time in a low intensity steady state. It's so much better for weight loss if you really increase your speed and decrease your time going up a certain segment. That's why Strava, having a GPS Garmin device, or you can use your smartphone, is excellent for tracking. Oh man, I feel like I want to vomit a little bit. One reason why a lot of people, they don't want to do a hard workout is because it's painful. It sucks. It feels like you're about to drown. And a lot of people just don't want to do it. And I totally understand. But I know when I get home, I'm going to feel really accomplished. I'm going to feel like I actually did something. and it's working towards my fitness goals. I don't really have any fitness goals, but if you do, then it's really important. I just want to get out here, have some fun, do some adventure, and I think that's an important thing about fitness, is that if you're just out here just to lose weight, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to motivate yourself. Instead of going out here to have fun and just enjoy yourself, and yeah, do some hard efforts, right? But also go on an adventure, right? And start to explore your area. It's great to do it on the bike because you can really see a lot on a bike as opposed to running. You just can't do the same distance. So like, you know, I've already done 15 kilometers. Man, oh man. So I'm gonna finish off this segment again, finish off this interval, go back down, come back up again. So I'll do 5 intervals up this climb, and then I'm just gonna ride home. So then that'll be a 20-minute cool down. Let my muscles cool down from the intense workout. Again, important for reducing the risk of injury, making it easier on your body, as opposed to just going at a super hard out effort right from the get-go and then finishing on a super hard effort as well. Oh my God. I'm not in the shape that I used to be. And that's what I do for weight loss workout for cycling. Now, you can adapt this to whatever city you live in, whatever hills and flats you have. Oh man, it's easier going up hills because it forces you to really do hard work. As opposed to flats, riding on the flat, it allows you to go easier if you want to. But going up climbs, it forces you to have to keep going hard. And that's what I love about them. And that's one reason why I know how to control my weight so easily through the type of fitness that I'm doing and how much I'm doing. Earlier this year in March 2015, my weight went up to 165 pounds. So previously, June of 2014, just by doing these types of workouts, I got my weight down to 145 pounds. So I was 65 kilos, and I was almost too thin. I was basically too thin for, I didn't look very healthy. I looked emaciated. I was really, really fit though, but it didn't really look healthy. So now I'm at a much more comfortable weight. 153, 155 pounds is typically where it fluctuates. And I mean, that's good enough for me. I don't need to get any thinner. I don't need to prove anything on Strava to anybody. But for people that are just kind of getting into this and learning about how to get fit on the bike and stuff, it's important to get out and to really spend time focusing on certain segments and trying to improve your speed on them. That's going to just dramatically improve your weight loss results if that's what you're looking for. But also make sure you get out and be adventurous on the bike. Something else I'd recommend is joining cycling clubs. Cycling clubs are great because you'll be riding in a group of people that might be a lot fitter than you, and that will elevate you to their level over time. We have a certain level of competitiveness that we don't want to get dropped. We don't want to get left behind. So if you're riding with a group that is fitter than you, and say they're pulling away, that's going to push you a little bit harder in order to be as fast as them and to stay with them. Most important thing is that you want to start getting out and starting to cycle. You know, even if you're just going out for an easy bike ride for half an hour, 45 minutes, it's better than sitting on your couch doing nothing, right? And just over time you get fitter, you get faster, and you're just going to be able to get better results. If you have any questions or comments regarding anything I've done in this video, definitely leave a comment below. And I'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.